Well, good evening again, and welcome to FNR, taken tonight by RRC Racing Community for the FNR Gold and Bronze League. Welcome again, I'm Scrappy Doo, and I'll be taking you through the qualifying session and the race for the Mons-Style Gold and Bronze together. And today we have our own challenge, Azerbaijan, or Baku, pretty much 4 letters of the alphabet. As a racing driver, scares the absolute crap out of me, to be completely honest, everyone out there. FNR didn't go too well with me, started in the middle of the season, and I'll go through it a little bit later, exactly what happened there, my own thoughts on Baku. Going on to the standings for gold and bronze shortly. In the gold event, so big well done last week to FNK, FFTH, pardon me, I pronounced his name correctly, who won last time out. Very good win around the streets of Monte Carlo, and here very, very similar setup, shall we say. I do wish I had taken out shares in front wings for the cars. Pretty much every single driver out there, the gold and bronze, had to have shares and had multiple front wing changes. This week I'm sure will be exactly the same as well, with the tricky mix of long fast straights and that infamous middle sector to catch out even the best of the drivers we have on the show here. So as promised, is going through the tables really quickly for gold, and again I will try and go through both gold and bronze equally as much as I possibly can. The tables. So going on, Coxey does have a 15 points lead over FTH despite his fantastic win around the Principality last time out. Regan McCannon, well, I did think actually after last week he was peaked at delivery driving the amount of times he'd come back into the pits to change his front wing and for tyres at numerous times during the race. He is back by 8 points on FTH, so it's not unthinkable for him even to take back the Drivers' Championship, and that does put, of course, Racing Point in a very, very strong position for constructors' standings. And unfortunately, again, I think thanks to Mr. Gavlar a couple of weeks ago, if we do have to see Racing Point again on the front row, there's going to have to be that infamous Pink Panther anthem. So let's just hope that someone else can put it on pole, or the front row will be clean from Racing Points. And we won't have to pay that. Maybe an Hallelujah or another decent theme tune, but just not the Pink Panther theme tune, please. Moving on to the bronze event for the standings, which I'm trying to very quickly find. Okay, we have Tristan still leading by a single point to Gavlar. Couldn't be closer in FNR bronze with Mono. And now a very, very big shout out to Mono after his fantastic win in the streets of Monte Carlo last weekend. I was calling him a gold driver, and I think he spent about as much of being a gold driver last time out than a bronze driver. But fantastic performance coming off a very, very good win for AlphaTauri. In the constructors, we've got clear undomination. 10 points in it between Ferrari and Red Bull. That can swing again today with Gavlar and Benjamin Cardiff taking up the Red Bull seats. Now, a little bit on to the qualifying and the race. Of course, the race, 2 minutes away, 1 minute away. So I'll try and quickly get this in for the race. So qualifying is going to be a short qualifying today. That was voted in by a number of the drivers. If we do end up putting it onto the softer tyre, you can expect 8 laps on the softs and changing onto the hard tyres for the end of the race. But a very long stint to take there for 18 laps on the hards. It will in fact be a 26 lap race today, just over 45 minutes. But racing on that back sector with no rear wing, that is ridiculous for anyone. And of course, if it does rain today, well, you might as well just go and throw some chips into a hat to see who's going to win this race, because it can be. Now, I would say definitely that the short qualifying will definitely suit more of the bronze drivers. So a lot more cars going to be on track, a lot easier to make mistakes, and we'll see who comes out on top. As now the clock does tick 8 o'clock London time. That means we're getting ready for the only qualifying session, the short qualifying session it will be. And the drivers are being asked to ready up, anyone who's listening to the stream. As we're ticking away, now that is going to be, with 5 seconds to go for the start of qualifying, who will prevail today. And who are we going to see come out first into the streets of Baku? Traffic a bit of a problem here. Of course, the barriers everywhere, very little runoff for the drivers, and mistakes are very, very easy to make for even the most hardened of drivers, even at this level of racing. The hard tyre is most likely to be where most of the drivers spend most of their race strategy on. If, for example, you do go from, it is possible to run the medium to hard here. The softs, like I did say a second ago, maybe as quick as lap 8, but realistically, is 8 laps going to be enough to get away from any drivers going for the reverse strategy? That again, we'll wait to find out. So here is qualifying, just moments away. And I would love to know why it is not taking me out of spectate mode. And it looks like the race has actually put me into a Mercedes, which I'm going to dramatically jump out of. So apologies for that. So we do have it's first driver out. It looked like it was wet there for a second. I had a quick look at the radar. We're going to see Gavlar, one of the first guys to come out and try his luck here in the Red Bull. Currently in bronze, second in the standings. What can he pick up here on the streets of Azerbaijan? Looks like smoke at the back of that Red Bull. Must be dirt, hopefully, coming off the side of the track here. Very, very dark conditions. It's going to help with the tyre temperature, definitely, today. And let's make some telemetry out here just to have a quick look and just see what's going on. Okay, so let's fly through some of the drivers already out there. So currently everyone out is going to be on a warm-up lap, so to speak. Nismo and Puppy. Didn't mean so much about Puppy last week. He had one of those quiet races involved with incidents as well. Unfortunately, not his. Now, a lot of the cars are doing it as well, smoking out of there. Maybe just the fact of the dust on the track. That's the reason why smoking so much. And the winner from the last event in Monaco coming to start, or on his warm-up lap at least, to start what will hopefully be a quick lap for him on the sister AlphaTauri. There's Jack Blum coming back through in his, again, white helmet. I do wonder why all the drivers are going for white. Some of the drivers are going for white helmets. The Civics there pushing. Okay, so we'll try and find now. We'll find one on the side of Gavlar to see what he can do. This will be one of the first drivers out on what will be a hot lap, electing to go for in this single qualifying session, putting balls to the walls and going for that soft tyre. Let's hope to see if it makes me luck today. Again, smoke out the back of the Red Bull. Oh, a big slide as well coming out there. as now we've got the infamous castle section coming up, and that's for the backstretch there. You can see the other cars with the AlphaTauri. On the other side of that wall, Super Steel already has left the session. Hopefully that's not just an incident, but unfortunately it looks like it will be. We'll stay on with Gavlar currently. He's navigating that very tricky section. He's got that Renault in front of him. Is that going to be Nismo or Jack Blum? Hopefully he's seen him already and will get out of the way as he approaches sector 3. He does do. Very tough corner this coming in, as we can see. Getting your braking point there is very, very hard. And now we come through what will be in the race. Should be an easy section as long as you've got your front wing still on the car. Again, during the last week I've definitely put shares in for front wings. You can see Mono taking provisional pole position, 1 minute 41.9. There, 13 minutes and 50 seconds to go on the clock. As the rear wing does open now on Gavlar's car, we can see what sort of lap he's going to be putting up here. And he does beat Gavlar's, he does beat Mono's time, 1 minute 41.4. So he's not 5/10 faster. We'll try and ride some other cars as we've got Jack down here. And my teammates from WNR to see what he can do. Again, opting for the soft tyres. You see the German flag fluttering in the wind there. Jack puts in a time of 1 minute 42.3. He's third fastest currently. What can Civics do as he comes down to the line? Again, the DRS about to completely wide open. And he puts himself, he goes third, so he does beat Jack Blum's time. Jack down to fourth. Civics time 1 minute 42, and instantly De Wheels puts an even faster lap in. First man inside the 1 minute 39s, 1 minute 39.0 for De Wheels. Sporting the Williams today. Not a very good season, let's say, for Williams in Formula 1, but much better one in the Formula E racing for FNR, definitely, anyway. As we can see now, Puppy putting up a lap time. Sure, you have to go again. Okay, he's on the medium tyres, but that lap's not going to be quick enough. 1 minute 46.0 for him. Big slide as he approaches the DRS zone. And everyone seems to be, as Tristan you can see there, struggling for grip. Him letting go for the medium tyre. That's going to be tough. Looks like his counterparts in bronze seem to be opting for the soft tyre. And still smoke coming out the back of the Ferrari, which I'm hoping is just dust. We've seen multiple cars kicking up the dust there. And hopefully the track evolution, as far as we get to the race, will clear that. And stop, obviously, that from happening. As we can now go through with some of the other drivers here. His direct teammate as he battles through the castle section on the soft tyres. What can he do to put it on the front row? Oh, and he hits the barrier on the way out. Doesn't do the car any good. From the outside, doesn't look like he's done any damage to the car. As he comes into now the last section, which is basically a flat out curve in dry conditions. Now what's he doing as he goes through 7th gear? He's so very nearly touched that wall, and it nearly was on top curtains for Durant. Luckily he managed to hold it together. DRS completely open. His ERS we can see down to 55%. It's a big focus for the cars in the state of DRS management. Durac goes to 6th place with a 1 minute 42.8. Yellow flags in sector 3. We'll try and buzz through that really quickly to see what else has happened. So Stringy's lap and Puppy's lap really being beaten, unfortunately, there, as we can see Nismo putting a time in as well. A 1 minute 43, but still at the top you've got Do Wheels running a 1 minute 39.0. He's fastest currently. As we can see, one of the front runners in gold, Jonathan Cox T-Bone, going for it. Now, from personal experience, I do know he's very quick around here. But then again, after last week's gold event, as you can see him getting out of the way of, that will be Durant on his slowdown lap. Of course, T-Bone doesn't know he's in his slowdown lap, of course. The win from FTH last weekend, very similar to Monaco, but with the long straights. Now, is his Racing Point going to have it to put it onto the front row, or is FTH going to win the psychological battles? You can see now T-Bone mentally preparing himself, which is one of the hardest races of the season for the drivers, getting out of the way of a faster Mercedes. That's going to be Stringy. as he repairs the car for what will be a quick lap. We'll have a quick ride with Stringy as he's just ahead on track to see if he's going to put a lap down and where he puts himself. Could be preparation lap though for Stringy unless he's decided to put another lap down on those same tyres. He comes now down to the long stretch. Maybe T-Bone might be able to get a bit of a straight line speed advantage off him. That was a preparation lap for Stringy. He doesn't go any faster. Won it 44.5. As we'll go back to T-Bone momentarily. He has got traffic on this lap. It's a fast lap for him. He's got Benjamin Cardiff ahead of him in the Red Bull, but surely he'll have plenty of time to be able to get out of the way, and hopefully he's not going to interfere this lap too much as we stay on board with Jonathan Cox. And of course him electing, actually by his standards, to go for the soft tyre. Maybe the fact of a combination of getting so close to the wall there. So just to finish what I was saying, maybe a combination of the tricky circuit plus of course a shortened qualifying session has prolonged him into going for that soft tyre, as now he flies straight past two cars who have got out of the way. So this while Jack Blum did manage to get away. More traffic, so much traffic from here. Doesn't seem to have impeded T-Bone that much so far. He has got a slower car ahead though, which I can't see who that is currently. That is going to be Stringy. Keeping it out of the wall so far, T-Bone. Taking it down to second gear. Now the car seems to be quite balanced going through there. That's one thing I've struggled with myself in that particular sector. Taking a lot of outside curb, preparing for the last sequence of bends. There's basically sector 3. As he'll run down his DRS about to open. As he comes up to 200 miles an hour, his gas light completely on, letting him know he's running desperately low on gas. Rear wing will open, and T-Bone, where does he go? It is provisional pole position. The only man in the 1 minute 38. I went at 38.8. That is so 1.9 seconds. No, probably 2/10 of a second faster than Do Wheels in the Williams. Apologies there. I think some mental maths might go too far on a Sunday perhaps, or a Saturday, but we'll find out later. Benjamin Cardiff are running with. Seems like on the preparation lap, maybe getting out of the way for some drivers here. Electing to come into the pit lane. Now, very tricky pit entry, as it's not even going to help him any worse as he does hit the barrier, I'm afraid. But no, the pit entry here, very, very tricky for the drivers and very, very easy to make a mistake. And WNRC quality drivers penalised for braking at the absolute maximum to gain the most advantage. I think that'll be penalties and broken front wings. Let's hope we don't see too many tonight. I have a horrible feeling we might do though. As far as broken front wings are concerned, the field is pretty short enough tonight without any more failures to happen. As we'll ride on with Mono. Currently 6th, so 1 minute 41.9. Looks like he is the highest bronze driver currently in the field, with Jack currently running down in second place, Jack Blum. And that would be a very, very good actually performance for Jack if he can put it on the front row for bronze tonight. And perhaps get some well-needed points. Unfortunately, Steve will start from the bottom of bronze with issues, unfortunately. We don't know what they are yet. My only guess of this circuit will be, unfortunately, that it is unfortunately going to be an accident that's caused him to retire from qualifying. So currently, the only driver currently in the pits in that setting of time is Benjamin Cardiff, who will be run down to 5 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. So realistically, just for the pit guys in the pits, there's going to be one more run. Anyone out on the track right now, which is pretty much half the field, is going to have the option to come back in again, change their tyres and go again if they're not happy with their fast lap. Puppy still electing to stay on that medium tyre. Now, you see, for me here, if you've done a 1 minute 44.5, it may well be better for him to go for that medium tyre, or go for this soft tyre, and see what he can do, just to kind of see if he can get himself into the top 10. Turn 1 here. I'm expecting fireworks, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. To the viewers today, the castle section is going to be extremely tricky as well. Poppy, for the looks of things, seems like he's looking after himself, as Benjamin Cardiff does seem to take line advice and coming out of the pits with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock. Good braking point there for Mono. Can control the car at very low speeds. Can he do, as for Poppy, of course, sorry, apologies, getting the alphas a bit mixed up there. Now these yellow flags in sector 2, hope that's just the cars getting out of the way of each other, as Poppy does seem to be really struggling with that car on what should be a flat section. As there's a Renault behind him, he may be impeded by his lap, hopefully not. What can Poppy do? Probably just for another position, as Tristan is coming back out of the pits on the softs. Not happy with his lap, putting in P10 overall tonight. More yellow flags. I do wish the Code Masters would take into account the slower cars and get in the way, and only really putting down a yellow flag for an accident, but maybe the PS5 will give us that insight into this e-racing, but we'll find out later. Now, as we're coming up to the 3-minute warning, this really is a very long track here. It's really the final chance these drivers have got to improve on their qualifying laps. As we ride with the championship leader currently in bronze to see what he can do and what strings he can put out of the bag today. We're rather than coming through turn 1, we've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Just want to see how he handles, and the car having to fight that Ferrari of understeer as he fights it through this first sector. It's pretty good so far, and I have to say, it does look like I was saying, that Mono does seem to be leading the way in bronze. As far as pole position is concerned, from what I can see, he's 7th overall. Looks like it will be pole position, official pole position at least, for Mono, 1 minute 41.9, as the Ferrari does seem to get out of the way there of Stringy. As he gets into the castle section, no massive dramas here, having to battle the RPM, sitting in second gear, and he pushes it over the curb, nearly putting it into the barrier himself. Second currently is Durant in bronze, and Tristan currently third, as DeWill still holds current provisional pole position in gold. Jonathan Cox second, and FTH, after his win last time out, in third place. So we'll be trying to move on to a couple of the gold drivers as well, just to see as the battle really says pretty much now the final chance these drivers have got to improve their time. And will be Tristan's last opportunity to see where he can put himself on the grid for FNR bronze tonight. DRS completely wide open as he approaches the line, and Tristan puts himself provisionally 7th now. So Jack has also improved. Jack Blum, my teammate currently in WNR I should say, has improved. He is currently provisional pole position with a 1 minute 41.1. Tristan, as he's basically done now, he can't improve on that, as can Mono. So at the moment it's like Jack is on provisional pole, only a couple of drivers can beat him here. Now also going back to gold, DeWill's preparing himself for a fast lap and nearly putting it into the wall in the last sector as he comes out on the soft tyres, trying to prepare his lap. Maybe just a bit too much pushing there. Now the top 10 cars at the moment currently on the soft tyre. Azerbaijan, not the place where the mediums want to run. It's a good braking point there for DeWills coming through, and he may have had his lap eliminated with that for going over the track at turn 1. Maybe that's the reason why he slowed down, but his lap, as we can see, definitely over. So DeWills currently is up for T-Bone's taking now. DeWills can take no further part in qualifying. As checkered flag comes through, Jonathan Cox, what does he do? He's getting off it. He wasn't happy with that. Checkered flag out. So Jonathan Cox cannot get pole position here. So no maybe a Pink Panther being tuned for the time being. As Gavlar now, he's 5th. He can't take any further point. He couldn't improve. 1 minute 40.7. FGH, what can he do? He was like a rocket at the last point in Monaco, the last couple of laps. What can he do at Baku? The line just a couple of 100 metres away, 106 miles an hour. Or can he put the McLaren onto the front row of the grid? He can! He pushes Cox down to P3. So do Wheels on current pole position. FDH is 2nd, Coxie 3rd. Cannot improve. Civics will watch in the Haas. As he comes through and he's aborted his lap. Seems like he's mechanical gremlins there with the car. For Civics. So that's my off of him for the time being, and that pretty much makes your grid. So, bit of anticlimax there for qualifying. I'm expecting more of a shootout, but do Wills, it looks like we'll take pole position for the FNR Gold. 1 minute 38.2, beating FTH by 0.4 of a second. Fantastic lap from him. Coxie will start 3rd, and Civics in 4th position. We're seeing some yellow flags out there on track. I can't see anyone else that actually would be out on track to complete a lap. Everyone else looks like they're going to be. No, it doesn't look like that at all. So it looks like we're all done, with Civics taking 4th, Gavlar 5th, and Stringy in 6th. Jack Blum, congratulations to him. He will take his amazing pole position of the year for FNR Bronze. Tristan will start alongside him on the front row, with Mono and Durac in 3rd and 4th respectively. Some notable mentions as we go down the order, and that's all. Have a big shout out for GFO. Very, very unlucky. The only driver with no points on the standings. And if his fight through the field in Spain is anything to do by, he's going to make starting from P15 today a delight to watch. And that is what he is going to be my tip for the race. To cause some carnage in the middle of that pack, because after watching him in the Spain race, the last race he participated in, a bad qualifying session for him, unfortunately losing control of the car. He came back, retired from the session, but it's already over anyway. So again, congratulations to the Do Wheels and to Jack Blum for taking pole positions for the FNR Gold and Bronze respectively. As we get even closer to the race start time. The drivers now prepare themselves for the race, and I'm going to make sure that my race is in spectator mode and not actually in a car. So if anyone wants to jump into that car that has an invite, I do apologise if I've jumped into someone's seats. I honestly thought I'd put it into spectator mode. So we'll do that from the formation up onwards. So like we saw in the top 10, it looks like the soft tyre is going to be the race, it's going to be the tyre to go for. So realistically, round the long straights of Azerbaijan, and tyre deg is an absolutely huge factor. We expect to see those cars coming in around lap 7 to lap 8, taking on the long one stop through to lap 18. So realistically here, safety car is a very, very high factor, unfortunately, and a very, very real possibility to have in the race. I'll try and do now. I'll try and I don't want to quit from the main menu, so I'm going to sit for the time being in the Mercedes, and I'm going to jump out of this immediately when this safety car starts. Which I think may push me back to the main menu. And annoyingly, I do not have any other invites for the time being. So I am going to be trying to see if I can get another invite into the session so I can jump out of it and give a FNR bronze driver the opportunity to race. Very shortly. Thank you for giving an invite to that, so I will be jumping out straight away of here. Appreciate there for T-Bone for sending that invites. Don't you love technical glitches? Okay, just a couple of seconds away, guys. And hopefully not going to miss the start of the race. So, as we can basically go back to comment for FNR Gold, Coxey with it all to do today, starting from P3 on the grids. Now, his reputation with Azerbaijan to go by, you have to make it up. He started out from pole position last time out, and it was a TH, of course, that beat him to the flag as the cars are still on their formation lap, which I'm very happy to say, a very long lap around here. As we can see now, DeWill's getting ready for his grid start. Try and put as much data on as we possibly can. Go through the details of the cars and spending as much time with FNR Gold and Bronze as we possibly can. So, of course, the first corner is a fast left-hander. Now, this is where we're going to see potentially fireworks today. As the cars coming in they are all now in position. We're waiting for the 5 lights. Two, 3, 4, 5. Hold. It's go. As the timing ball seems to have messed up again, we see Doodles making a fantastic start. Jonathan Cox there pushing on the outside. A midfield battle all the way down there. It looks like we seem to have all the drivers getting through massive position changes. Now, we're not going to watch the telemetry for 2 seconds. That's not correct. As we can see a battle there for the back as well. This is going to be for the bronze. I bet we can go all the way down. There's Puppy and Nismo. They're showing blue flags as well. Of course, that is completely incorrect. As now we'll try and follow the leader DeWills. Again, the telemetry does not seem to be correct. In fact, it's showing that DeWills is currently in 3rd position. He's leading the race. Jonathan Cox is currently in 2nd. And FTH is currently down in 3rd position. Now, private battle going on between those two as we go down to the order. Now, Jack Blunt, how did he get off the start? He's pretty well. He's still leading the race from what I can see for FNR Bronze as he approaches the castle section. Durant 2nd and his teammate Tristan down in 3rd place. He's got a very fast Super Steed coming up the beer for him from 4th position with Mono and Puppy in 6th and 7th respectively. As we'll now, hopefully now the graphics seem to have calmed down a little bit. Now, of course, a reminder, 3 laps before the DRS will open up. As we can see T-Bone now trying to get as close as he possibly can to his teammate. Benjamin Cardiff is out of the race. And that's what I get for not relying on the graphics. Unfortunately, a incident there looks like with Benjamin Cardiff. He is out and will take no further part as we can now see Mono all over the back of Stee there. And of course, he seems to have run out of ERS range. Sort of ghosted car in front of him. So that should be GFO. The GFO, it's saying a lap down, it could be in his Alpha. As we'll ride all the way back through, we can see Jonathan Cox with what he's saying is a ghosted car. Now, hopefully that's not just a ghosted car, and that's hopefully just an issue. Oh, and it's okay. So I'm not going to go with what the stats are saying. It's currently showing Jonathan Cox in 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2-1, but he is still currently in 2nd place. So DeWill's currently still leading it. Jonathan Cox 2nd, and FTH is 3rd, and it actually shows me as overall race leader, which I'm not going to complain about, but that is not correct. As you can see, I'm not touching the steering wheel. I'm obviously talking to everyone out there. So, and now it shows me back down in 14th, which is even funnier. But Codemasters never struggle to entertain me. As you can see, Civics battling there in the last sector in his Haas car. Oh, he going right over the curbs there. He battles to control the car through the high-speed last sector. We'll go back to the battle for FNR Bronze. Jack Blum seems to be running away with it. Durat 2nd, Tristan 3rd, Super Steve in 4th, and Mono down in 5th place. But trying to make moves on Super Steve as we come down to the last sector. Give him some space, SD. You're going to have to. And he has a many space. And that, unfortunately, is going to be all down to the Alpha, I'm afraid. It's going to be down to Steve, that one, I'm afraid, as they're going to have to both pit. Steve, unfortunately, hasn't given him much room, and it's cost Mono. That's the first front wing change. So we're up to 2, and hopefully his AlphaTauri team can get him out. The winner last time out there in Monaco. He is down, unfortunately, back to the bottom of the field. And hopefully he can make amends. As we can see, GFO treating this like a warm-up lap, I have to say. Not 100% sure what he's doing back there. Maybe fiddling with something with the car to improve his performance. We can see a yellow flag down there in sector 1. Can't see what that is for yet. We'll try and race through the field and see why there's a yellow flag out there. It's a safety car, in fact. And this is going to spice the car up, and maybe that pit stop for Mono, that false pit stop for Mono, may see him come off the better card. Facing, of course, a black helmet tonight. Obviously, my guess is in memory of, obviously, it's September 11th today. Horrible day 19 years ago. As the safety car comes out, it hasn't caught the field up yet. Maybe that could have been the reason why we saw slower cars out there, which I hadn't actually noticed, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Now, do the leaders decide to pit? It seems a little bit early now on lap 3 to come in. And does any of the top cars for Gold or Bronze decide to come in? And Coxie does decide to come in. It's going to be interesting. And so does FTH behind him. Civics in as well. Stringy deciding to stay out. And Gavlot in. So let's have a quick look and see what tyres are going to go for. It's mediums for T-Bone. Now, and Civics as well. As I have a quick look down the field, Jack is currently in from the race lead. What can he do? He's going again for the medium tyres. I don't think it's going to be too early for the mediums. Changing his front wing as well. Well, and that's going to give Durant the opportunity to lead this race. He just misses out there. Jack still looks like he's so Puppy, after all of that, would you believe, is currently leading the race on the hard tyre. And this is how your luck can change in not a very short space of time at all. Puppy now the overall leader of the Azerbaijan Bronze race for FNR Bronze. Super Steve trying to recover there in 11th overall, trying to catch the field. Now, the interesting thing is, can these guys make these medium and hard tyres last? My instant thought is going to be no, they can't. And certainly if I was driving around, I would have gone for the medium, knowing that these hards just cannot make it, unfortunately. Tristan there, again, on the medium tyres he come through. GFO now, that's all get behind him today, currently running in net 15th. With a ghosted car myself currently still out there, so that puts him net 14th overall. And that's really hope for his sake he can get some decent points today and get a decent finish for the Haas team. He definitely deserves it. after, like I said, a fantastic race through the field, it looked like, in Spain, with only a handful of laps to go. Unfortunately, not having the best day for him and retiring from that race a few weeks ago. De Wills has caught the safety car. He's the guy, of course, that stayed out there on those soft tyres. Now, how long... Oh, he in fact came in, sorry, that's the reason why. How long can he make these soft tyres last for? It's Stringy in P2. He was the guy that stayed out, not De Wills. Correction. So currently at the moment, these Williams dual tyres have done 4 laps of Azerbaijan as we approach lap 5. He's getting very close to the safety car. That's what you don't want to do to get yourself disqualified from this race. De Wills getting very, very close there. So, position change at the moment. We've got De Wills currently leading this race. That sounds like a front wing to me, getting smashed a bit further down the field. Trying to see if we can see any evidence of that. This is the hard part, of course, now, as all the cars are bunched together. And it is inevitably going to be front wing accidents out there. Now, I couldn't see any front wing, as again, De Wills gets very, very close to that safety car out there as we are on lap 5. Like I was saying earlier, lap 7 is going to be the first lap when we're expecting to see cars come in or on the soft tyre, and maybe the nursing of these tyres under the safety car laps will help, but realistically the guys on mediums are going to have to come in again for a set of tyres, and maybe it's a case of us rolling the dice to see, can you make those hard tyres last until the end of the race. The guys that have pitted for or started on the have gone for the hard tyre to see if they can last till the end of lap 26 to see the end of this race. And will we in fact see more safety cars as Stringy there taking the castle section very, very slowly and just trying to keep the temperature on his tyres, perhaps his medium tyres. Tristan getting himself a 5-second penalty, and that is only going to be for hitting another car under safety car conditions or driving through what would have been a ghosted car. So, and that is unfortunately going to be given to him on his next pit stop if he does make a pit stop. And as GFO is stopping on the racetrack. I think that's to pass the ghosted car, which again, safety car is coming in this lap, so hopefully the field can catch up. He can catch up to the field GFO and get some well-deserved points for him and for the team. Now, what can De Wills and what can De Wills do from this race start again? GFO ignoring yellow flags. Now that's going to be being too fast in the last sector. That's the reason why. Now what can De Wills get from this start? Safety car in, and this is the moment De Wills decides to push the accelerator. Through he comes, pushing the overtake button all the way down. So we have De Wills still in the lead there. Stringy hanging on to second place as they come round. Jonathan Cox in 3rd position. FTH 4th, Nismo 5th, and Puppy in 6th position. Puppy leading the FNR bronze tonight, with Civics right behind him in 2nd place in bronze. And Gavlar currently 3rd position, Jack in 4th. Jack leading the race before that pit stop earlier. Can we see him come back through the field? As all, I'm going to try and change that graphic over just to see if we can see the front 4 really getting away. I'm going to try and change the graphic to see what tyres, if we can see what tyres the cars all are on at the front. There we go, so that is a bit more information about what tyres the cars are on. So Nismo and Puppy currently on the hard tyre. They've done 5 laps in the hard tyre, so pitting on lap 1. Can they see another 25 laps of this race to the checkered flag? I don't think they can. We're going to see a move there. As we can see Jonathan Cox all over the back there of Stringy. As De Wills seems to be checking out up front. Now, of course, Jonathan Cox is not going to get the DRS. He's going to try and use his overtake button as much as he possibly can. as they run down to the start finish straight, getting very, very close to the wall there. Marking those brand new medium tyres. I don't think he's close enough there for a pass. As we can see, McLaren a little bit further down the order is going to be close enough for DRS range as the battle for third position, as Jonathan Cox having to defend as well as attack off of FTH, and he's the person he definitely wants to beat off the last night in Monaco, trying to go for the inside there. Cox a little bit wise to it. As you can see, positions changed down. There's Gavlar's off. That could be seen as a dangerous return to the track, and hopefully he hasn't hit anyone. It's a shame for him. Durant again, who's in the pit lane for another broken wing. That's 4 or 5 that I've seen, unfortunately, today. In the comfort of my own armchair, I'm afraid. As DeWill seems to be pulling away, but just how long can he stick there on those soft tyres? As Durant just about rejoins the track on the mediums. Big tank slapper as he comes comes out of the first corner. Going on to the battle now for overall race lead. DeWill was just putting away outside the DRS zone. So for Stringy, so Jonathan Cox is going to have that advantage when it comes to the next time for DRS, but also he's got FTH right behind him, at 5/10 of a second behind him. He's also at the moment going to get a DRS attack as the front four really are checking out, and it gets very, very close there, as you can basically smell the attack for FTH coming, as Jonathan Cox is trying to get the pass done quicker over Stringy as before they come up to the DRS zone. This is going to be interesting. We'll stay with this battle just for the time being, as we can see Jonathan Cox trying to line up Stringy. Good exit from the both of them. It does seem like FTH had a slightly better attack, and it seems like Jonathan Cox can smell him coming as the Williams, as well as he goes. We go to contact between the two cars. It wasn't too bad. He seems to have got away with that. Jonathan Cox seems to give up the position after slight contact there, and does he outbreak him into turn one? Jonathan Cox defending, and a part of the front wing of the McLaren seems to have fallen off there. Good racing from the both of them. Good defending from Jonathan Cox. That might have been sparks off the front of the McLaren and not anything of the front wing. You can see Civic, so he is running fifth. He's pretty unknown about this battle actually for what is more overall race lead, or 3 cars racing for P2 anyway. As Nismo's trying to improve on his race day from currently sitting in 6th on the hard tyre. He is the first driver on those hard tyres. Just how long can he take his Renault on these hard tyres today? And there's that legendary smoke again, which is not affecting the cars, so it must just be some dirt that Co-Masters are put into this game, which hopefully will stop distracting me by the end of this race. We ride with Puppy as he comes into Sector 2. Doing very well actually today, Puppy. Quite a reserved race in P7. He's the second driver out there on those hard tyres, about to get under pressure from the leader from earlier, Jack Blum, who's getting absolutely hounded there by GFO. And this is legendary. GFO push contact between the two cars. Much like the GFO stick, he keeps out of it. He does. That's a good pass from the Haas there. A very good move. As you can see, there's a battle again at the front between FTH and Stringy. FTH does seem to have got past Jonathan Cox. Jonathan Cox seems to have got past. And here we can see FTH is now attacking on Jonathan Cox for second place. The DRS is going to help him with that. He does get it, as now Stringy does elect to come in. As we can see, Duel still carrying on those soft tyres. So this was the tyres that really started the race on, of course, Stringy. A new front wing for his pleasure as well. There's another point for the front wing makers out there. As we can see, he's that coming back out the field. Is my tip for the day, GFO. And I wish I had a bet on him personally. Back up to 6th place and starting from the back of the field, sporting a Michael Schumacher mock helmet. Well, actually a 1950 helmet, like a Michael Schumacher helmet from there. And now can he make an attack onto the top 5 drivers? A bit of a gap out there, as now we can see Puppy still officially leading out there for FN. Actually, no, he won't be. I'll double check on that, because by my recollection it will be Nismo that's currently leading for FNR Bronze. If my memory is absolutely incorrect, I do apologise. No, but I was correct in the first place, which I hadn't doubted myself. So that puts Nismo currently in the lead of the race. And as far as the FNR Bronze is concerned, so Nismo currently leading for FNR Bronze, Puppy in second, and Jack Blum currently in third, with Super Steve and Tristan fighting behind him. As the car Ferrari, Tristan seems to be massively over revving there. As it's saying his teammate is in, that's Durant in this lap. It's saying no, that's just the systems again playing around with us, ladies and gentlemen. As De Wills is currently in, that's a good time to go to De Wills. So these soft tyres weren't making it. He has to pit. That gives T-Bone the overall race lead from FTH. And Civics in third position. As he falls down the field, GFO Nismo goes up another position. So the guy that basically didn't take part in qualifying, he's currently in fifth place. And there's been my absolute top tip for the day, which has not proven me wrong, for FNR Gold. Puppy again, another reserve race from him. He's going to be trying to get into that DRS range of De Wills. It's going to be much harder for him. He hasn't made a pit stop yet in these tyres, these hard tyres. How much life have they got in them? As you can see him struggling for grip there, and about to be hustled a little bit there, you can see, by Jack Blum. Taking a lot of curb there. And defensive mode, it looks like there from Puppy. He knows these hard tyres aren't going to be as quick as Jack's behind him. As we'll go really quickly back to the battle for first place between Jonathan Cox and FTH. Both in the medium tyres, both pitting on the same lap. Is DRS range here going to make any difference to FTH? And can he take the race lead back? Trying to save his overtake battery. He doesn't have enough energy there. What does Cox have? He has about the same amount of battery as him to defend. DRS. This is where it's going to really make the difference. DRS completely wide open. He can't make the difference there. As we'll go up to the next DRS range. We'll now go to the lead for FNR Bronze. Or second place actually in FNR Bronze. That is Puppy, we can see losing a position there. Or gaining position for the pit lane. But Jack Blum, good move from him. That's for P2 in FNR Bronze. And maybe those hard tyres have completely gone off for Puppy. But it could be the best time. So again, very good race for Jack Blum currently looking at second place. His teammate leading out there. And Nismo does in fact now take the lead. So again, as Nismo leads, Jack Blum is currently in second. And Puppy third in FNR Bronze, who are 5th, 6th and 7th overall. Now the next guy we're going to see coming surely as a move for the lead there, as FTH does take over the lead from Jonathan Cox. Just saw on the position charts there, it seems like an accident. Has a look at the front wing on this racing point, and it's damaged. There is damage, and even more damage there to the right hand side. So let's hope Coxie just holds it off that last corner. Those last two bends are going to be ridiculously hard with no front wing. So let's just hope he can just gain it. We're expecting him to come out. He could potentially lose. We'll go down to 13th, 14th position, if not lower with this, as he does now get passed by Civics. For second place, he's going to have to pit. So all we can see was there contact between FTH and Jonathan Cox. He's going to be careful of that pit lane speed limit. He doesn't want to give himself a higher penalty. And he does give himself a higher penalty. It's a shame for Coxie now. What does his team do? Do they go for the hards? Or take the risk? He does go for the hards. A new front wing. That should lead him to the end of the race as far as tyres are concerned. But a big shame there for the Racing Point team. I can see him coming out in 14th. He will return 11th. But a big shake-up there as now we have a quick look at Gavlar trying to fight there with Super Steve. The DRS completely open on Gavlar's car. He couldn't get the advantage there to get closer to the Alpha. As we will have a quick look back as FTH in FNR Gold does currently lead from Civics by 5.8 seconds. Currently Do Wills is sitting there in third position. The guy put him on pole position here. He's coming in third place. What can he do? He's on fresh tyres, of course. And it doesn't look like the two guys in front of him are going to have to pit again. As we can see Jonathan Cox now making moves, trying to come back through the field. He's on the harder tyre, but he has got the traffic in front of him. So his tyre strategy is going to be down. He hits the castle section. And is that even more damage to the Pink Panther? It looks okay from the time being, but we can see now if is the Red Bull going to have a look at him? No, he does look like he seems to have survived that one miraculously. And hopefully won't have to pit again. As now the race for FNR Bronze continues. These guys are running 4th, 5th and 6th in FNR Bronze. Fantastic. And I did think myself before coming on today that the battle at FNR Bronze was going to be even closer than what it is in normal races. There's an issue there in Sector 2. As we can now see, is that Super Steve with an issue? It's not Super Steve. Very happy to see Super Steve still racing. But the battle for FNR Bronze is 4th and 5th. It's 4th, 5th and 7th. With Nismo leading FNR Bronze, Jack Bomb in 2nd and Puppy in 3rd. Tristan right behind him in 4th. You can see the podium. As you can see, Nismo and Jack Bum pretty much checking out there. They do have the Mercedes of FNR Gold stringy between them. So of course it's not going to be a back marker. This is a gold racing car, so he's got absolutely no reason to get out of the way. But then again, that Jack and Nismo ahead of him have got absolutely no reason to get out of the way. As Tristan seems to be having his own private battle down there with Super Steve. And you can just see now, as Gavlar does make the move and gets past him. So that's Gavlar moving up a place. Maybe it's his time to shine. Very, very competitive, we have to say, around on FNR, on Wednesday Night Racing, WNR, just 2 nights ago. Gavlar right up there, around the French circuit. As now his next target is going to be Super Steve in 9th place overall. As we are on lap 14, our leaders now. Let's spend some more time going down the field. We can have Mono. Pretty quiet race for Mono. As you can see, Dewill's doing the fastest lap of the race. That's what has he got. And is that Jack Bum coming into the pits? Or he's been overtaken by Stringy. So now you can see there is a one car in between these bronze drivers. Tristan seems to be having internet problems there. That's the reason why his car has jumped out. And if Benjamin Carter is listening, he might want to go and try and jump into that spare Mercedes that's out there. Super Steve does get himself a 3-second time penalty. That will be for cutting curbs. Very hard to do here as he struggles again with those hard tyres. And he is going to be easy meat, unfortunately. It looks like for Gavlar. He's trying to defend his car. Just hopefully no incidents between these two. And he's defending as always Mike can be. Tyre to tyre contact, but that's okay. No damage. And he does end up hitting the position just. So good racing there from the both of them, from Gavlar and Super Steve, not having an incident. Just tyre and tyre, as we can see Tristan looking for maybe a road that wasn't even there. We've all done that though, unfortunately, around Azerbaijan. I think I did that in qualifying and the race for the Wednesday night race. On these circuits, we need to have a map, unfortunately, of how to get in and out of. So, unfortunately there for Tristan, as GFO racing back through the field. Let's go back through the order. Okay, so Jonathan Cox seems to have pitted again then for hard tyres. So he seems to have missed out again. It looks like on an incident there between Jonathan Cox. They can think of maybe a front wing was what he needed. He's going to have a few problems running, but he's strapped on there, who does not want to give up 6th position overall. I think he will have to against a much stronger gold driver with the Racing Point team. He will be able to obviously hopefully get the draft of him. We're going to see a move into turn 1. As we can see there, Stringy making a move on Nismo. A little bit ahead in the distance. So realistically, it's the two Renaults that are racing here for overall race lead in FNR bronze. As there's no bit of oversteer there in the back of the car, trying to keep that in line. There's a big gap though, so we have, to go back through the order, we have FTH and Civics leading the race. FTH leading by 6.5 seconds. Then we've got Civics, then we've got Two Wheels, then we've got Stringy, a big 20 seconds back as we can see Jonathan Cox, another issue! And this is not his race. Another issue, and that looks like a broken racing point front wing, so really not the best race here for Jonathan Cox. So going back to what we were saying for the actual order, we can see a big gap there down to Stringy. That is going to be pretty much a pit stop. And we've got Nismo trying in the FNR bronze, leading his teammate by 1.3 seconds just outside the DRS range, and Puppy 1.8 seconds behind Nismo. There's the podium places. Then we've got another car in gold, Jonathan Cox, who looks like he's going to have to pit again. Don't know what tyres for this time. His team must be running out of tyres by now. And Gavlar back there in overall 9th, which will make him, 4th in FNR bronze tonight. Long race here. Mono, again, having a very quiet race by his standards. And he will make a position up, of course, when Jonathan Cox comes in, if he decides to come in. But this is the corners you really need to be careful of. As Gavlar is not going to have to make a move on Coxie, because Coxie's going to have to come in and change another front wing. He does. So Gavlar moves up a place, as does Mono, as does GFO into the points. He will make it into the points as well. Unfortunately, if Coxie had any luck today, it would be bad luck, as he's serving, of course, a 5-second penalty as well, which is going for the medium tyres, which 11 laps to go. That will see him through to the end. The leaders, as we can see now, a battle between Tristan and, is that a lapped car? As we can see, a Super Steve and Tristan, sorry, playing around there. Apologies there for Super Steve, as we can see the Pink Panther getting out in the middle of this battle between Super Steve and Tristan for what is 13th and 14th on the road. Jonathan Cox is trying to get his race back down again. He's out of the points in P12, and potentially his title lead coming to an end with 25 points for a win and a point for a fastest lap of the race. We're on lap 17. We have 10 to go in Azerbaijan. And stay tuned, because it's going to be a thriller. As you can see, FTH now putting out a 10-second lead to do Wheels. Civics is 14 seconds down the road. Stringy 9 seconds back there. Civics has made a pit stop. That's the reason why. It looks like those medium tyres will see him through to the end of the race. And now the overcut, or the undercut, so to speak. His tyres will last. Can FTH make the tyres last another 10 laps? I don't think they can. But we will see, and we'll find out. He's the only guy up there that hasn't pitted on the top 3 from the last round of pit stops. Nismo, his hard tyres have done 16 laps. Overall race lead. Can he make his tyres run another 10 laps? It'll put him through to 25 laps on one set of tyres, or is team orders at Renault between these two drivers going to come out? They only have a slight lead over Puppy, as you can see now. Jack, this is for the lead in FNR bronze, taking control. He's going to get DRS late on this lap, just trying to keep as close as he possibly can to his teammate. The last thing Renault want lead being first and second in this race was making any issues with either car, or causing any problems between the drivers. Is not what they want. We'll follow this battle momentarily. As now you can see Nismo just getting away slightly in this middle sector from his teammate Jack. Yellow flags out on track. Let's have a quick run through. Just see what that is. We have a Ferrari going backwards. It's Durant. He seems to have managed to get the right way back around, as the battle for 5th and 6th overall, and the first and second for bronze. Does Jack have it in the car to be able to skip his teammate to lead? This is out of DRS range momentarily, as we're watching now the gap between FTH and DeWills come down. As Duran is out of the race, a shame for him. And again, another race of having no points. Super Steve has come back into the pits, as has Gavlar out there. So these guys will be running till the end of the race. The other guys, looks like Mono's going to have to pit as well. 14 laps on the hard tyre. Having his own battle there with GFO is going for Poppy, and Poppy gives him space and comes down to the braking point. Just enough space for two cars there. Fantastic bit of driving by the both of them. And of course we'll come back at him at the cutback, but he doesn't seem to have the pace to come back at him. So looking out of the top 10 drivers, you can see Nismo's sure he's going to have to pit again. FTH from the race leads definitely going to have to pit again. Jack Blum's going to have to race come back in again. Gavlar's just been passed there by Jonathan Cox trying to come back through the field. He goes up, he's back up to 10th overall. He'll be higher than that for bronze or for gold in his own event today. But the big thing today is you can see FTH finally coming in. So it was truth my word, his tyres couldn't last. He's coming onto the... He does lose the race lead to DeWills. He was out there, he's done 8 laps on those tyres, but can he catch him on the softs? Civics is not going to be able to beat him, so this is the battle. So lap 19 out of 26. The lead is 8 seconds. FTH is on the soft tyres. It is a full-out battle between can DeWills hold on out front, or FTH, the last winner out at Monaco, catch him. With Civics currently in third place, Stringy in fourth now. The battle between, as we kick to Nismo, his tyres couldn't last until the end of the race. He's going to have to come in, it's going to be softs. And his teammate, surely next that will be in this. Oh, he's got in front of him as well. His teammate has followed him. And he had a broken front wing, he wasn't to know. Which means Mono currently leads the FNR bronze race for the second time in 2 weeks. Problem is for him, his tyres have done 15 laps. Now he may even have the opportunity to come in, pit for those soft tyres and come back out again. As a disaster there for Jack Blum in the final stages. Having a fantastic race. If he'd stayed out just a one more lap, he would have led this race. Again, from his teammate having an issue with the front wing. So he definitely would have taken the leads and potentially may have been able to defend against which is Puppy and against Mono. But as we still see it, Mono is out there leading the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for bronze. Very, very quiet race for a very excited, eccentric Mono, especially after last week's win. It seems to have driven the American driver on to another spur, another race division, as he doesn't want to be braking there. He's locking up those tyres. The tyres have done 15 laps already on his AlphaTauri. He doesn't need putting even more stress on them. Now, is he going to have it to be able to pit and come out in the lead? As we can see, he's still coming in there and form 4th place. He will lose that. He won't lose that position down there to GFO. As he comes back in to off the pit lane, will he? I don't think he will. He does lose the position to GFO, my apologies. So currently you've got DeWills, the gap down, or FTH is pushing him, is down to 4.9 seconds now with 7 to go. So even if he was catching him in around a second a lap between the 9 lap old medium tyres that DeWills is racing with and FTH we currently race with on his brand new set of soft tyres. Can they do? He is in eyesight of the Williams, and that is even going to spur him on even more. You can see the Williams. He's going to be catching him. We'll go across the line and we're going to see what the gap is as we come into lap 21 with 6 to go. DeWills, is he coming in? The race leader DeWills, no, he couldn't stay out there on those mediums. It will mean that FTH does lead the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, FDH's fastest lap of the race. That's going to be an added point for his title chances. And Do Wills, where does he come out? The next driver, so surely by that recognition that Mono can't stay out there too much longer with 6 now laps on those hard tyres. And GFO is moving up the order. He might be, what's that, nearly a minute behind the overall leader, but a very, very strong race for him today. And his first points for the Haas team in gold. He's the only driver in the event between gold and bronze with 0 points. And what an event it will be for him to get points today. Definitely, if his man gets points, he'll be my driver of the day in FNR Gold. As we can see, Mono still leading. The gap is down to 1.5 seconds to Nismo. Nismo, of course, has stopped. He's got on brand new soft tyres. He's had a fantastic race out there. Nismo does pick up a 3-second penalty. That will give Mono even more of a push to stay out there, but really Mono hasn't got the time, and he lets Coxey go there. He knows this is not his battle. He's not the guy who's racing today. Jonathan Cox coming back through the field from a number of incidences there. Mono seems to make it very, very easy for him, as we're going to stay for the time being with the overall leader in bronze, as FTH does do a no fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 41.3. We're getting closer to his polter of the fastest lap in pole from Do Wills with that sort of a time out there. Now, realistically, Mono has to stay out there on those tyres and make them work. If it was me, I'd be putting that diffuser, that diff all the way down just to try and make the car last. Of course, Nismo does have another 3-second penalty which will help him, but the distance is so small. You can see it there between first and second place in bronze, with Nismo bringing up the rear in third. Now, if these tyres go off the wall, he's not going to be able to hold it in there. Nismo is going to get the DRS range off him, and surely it's time now for Mono to pit. He's not going to pit by the looks of things. He is staying out there for another lap. Is he about to be moved by DRS? We're about to find out. Nismo, is he going to make a move here into turn 1? He's on the better tyres. He does make it stick. Mono just couldn't hold on the tyres on lap 22. He moves down to second place. A shame for the American driver. Now, he's got Gavlar to defend off in third place, and then Puppy as well, so his teammate. So it looks like he will finish. He's still in the lead of the race, of course, the 3-second deficit. So can he stay within the 3 seconds of Nismo for overall FNR bronze P1 today? Well, we're 4 laps away from the flag from finding out, as we ride with FTH, done 2 fastest laps in a row. Fantastic form from him today. Who is that? Is that Civics? That's up. Civics losing a place to Do Wills. So Do Wills back up there. So the soft tyres pushing him through the field. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back after FTH with 4 laps to go, including the one that they're on from the checkered flag. So it doesn't look like he's going to be able to come back through the field. A shame for him, and maybe that pit stop strategy just didn't work to his advantage today by staying out there early under the safety car. It doesn't seem to have helped him out amazingly well. As we'll now go down so we can see the Renault on the other side of the track there of Nismo, it looks like, who is in FNR bronze first place after taking Nismo at the start of this lap, and is putting away. Nismo having his own battle, so it does look like now with the time penalty arranged, Mono just about still leading this race on countback if the race was to finish right now. But of course you do have to give it to Nismo pushing through the field and making the move. Unlucky for Mono, of course, trying to make those 19-year-old pretty much hard tyres, make them work. unfortunately just didn't have the traction at the first corner. As his next battle, next target is going to be at Gavlar. As we can see, Mono getting very, very close for Mono. He's going to be with him potentially at the end of this lap, as Mono's tyres just seem to be completely falling off the cliff. A shame for him. Do Wills does the fastest lap of the race. That's going to be an extra point for his title hopes. And at the moment, with Jonathan Cox, he's currently P6 overall in the race and P6 in gold. So the top 6 drivers here are gold drivers out of the 10 that would have basically started this race on paper. And we're going to follow this battle now for second place in FNR Bronze. And unfortunately, all I can see is it's going to be Gavlar getting P2. But then he has got Puppy, his teammates, a few seconds down the road, so hopefully for his sake he can fend off his teammate, and maybe race orders at AlphaTauri will prevail. Gavlar's about to get DRS range, coming to DRS range. He's not going to be close enough here, unless Mono does outbrake himself at turn 1, which he had done before. Good run then for Mono. He knows where that Red Bull is, right behind him, as they'll come up to another DRS range. DRS open, but we've had bad traction there from Gavlar, I have to say, with the Red Bull. As again, the car 196 miles an hour up to more braking. Those front tyres on Monos are going to look like 25 cents by the end of this race. Those brake ducts are anyway thin that they would start the race on. Moist tyres looking like 50 pences and 50 cents after what is a monumental battle of 20 laps so far on the hard tyre. Oh, he's still fighting it, he's still fighting the car, he's still trying to hold on to P2. But unfortunately, it looks like at the end of this race, Gavlar is going to get him for what will be net P2. Is he going to wait for the DRS range to try and pass him here? Mono realistically just lets him go. He's not fighting him, it's fighting his teammate now and trying to stick the DRS range. That is probably the most cleverest thing he could do. Let Gavlar go and just try and get the DRS and stay ahead of his teammate with 2 to go to hold on to FNR Bronze. GFO does have another time penalty, which actually could well help Gavlar, because Gavlar is 6 seconds back, so that's a second penalty for Nismo. Depending on how many penalties Gavlar has, this could even be the third or another win, a second win for him in as many days. So Gavlar now really trying to hunt down Nismo. Nismo is on the softer tyre, of course. Nismo running the mediums as we approach the penultimate lap. This is still undecided. I don't know how many penalties Gavlar has. I do know Nismo has at least 6 seconds of penalties. He is just 6.2 ahead of Gavlar currently. So Gavlar has the opportunity on countback for FNR Bronze victory. As you can see, FTH and Do Wills in a league of their own out there, trading fastest laps. Civic's trying to hold on to the back of the 3 of them in third. It'd be good points for the Haas team today if he can bring it across the line. Stringy in 4th, very quiet race by his standards. And he is getting harassed all day long by driver of the day as long as he can finish his next lap. GFO about to make a move for what could be 4th place. Stringy's going to defend. They both give each other space. And that is a fantastic move there from GFO. Great racing by the both, and Stringy trying to come back at him as they come into turn 3. Contact there, doesn't look like he's damaged his Mercedes. He'll go for it again. There wasn't the gap to push, as we'll now race with the leader, FTH, as he comes out of the last corner. He's had pretty much a faultless race today. After the safety car pinning at the right time. As for the second week in a row on a street track, FTH comes through and wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for FNR Golds. A does win. DeWill's coming through to finish second in his Williams. Just didn't quite have it today. A shame for him, but a fantastic result there for the team and for Williams. Civics is looking to come through for third place to make it an all FNR Gold 1, 2, 3. And GFO, as long as he does finish his first points for the team, he's hit the wall. He seemed to ghost out there for a second, hopefully not. For his sake, and let's hope he can come through for fourth place, which it will be. Regardless if Stringy gets him, Stringy trying to line up a pass. He's been battling all throughout the race, fishing a penalty, and realistically GFO just let him go if he's going to get you for P4. It's going to be P4 and P5 for GFO and Stringy. GFO trying to block him as he comes, just don't block him. Oh, too much. Stringy does get him on the line. Fourth. GFO finishes fifth. Fantastic race for him. Driver of the day in FNR Gold as Jonathan Cox T-Bone comes through to finish sixth. Back through the field, not his day. He started from P3. Nismo is coming through the last corner. He did fight back. He has got that big penalty there. The gap down to Gavlar by 4.5 seconds. He may not be able to win the race depending on what penalties Gavlar has. So for the time being, Nismo does cross the line in provisional first place. Gavlar finishes second. It is a win for Nismo. So Nismo does win for FNR Bronze. Gavlar second. And Poppy, it does finish there in third position. Mono will be fourth place in FNR Bronze. So, right to the line there between who is going to win for FNR Bronze. GFO again given driver of the day. My driver of the day as well for FNR Gold. But you have to say massive congratulations to the two winners of FNR Gold and Bronze tonight. Nismo had it. I want to see exactly on the tables exactly how much Nismo had it across the line. He had 6 seconds of penalties. I think Gavlar must have had a penalty. They finished 4.9 seconds and off the line by my reckoning. So as we go through, as the podium music sounds out, so for FTH and for Nismo, a very big congratulations for wins in FNR Gold and Bronze tonight. I'll have a quick look through the command order really quickly before the time runs out. I'll be reading this off my friends, taking a really quick photo. So the full results tonight, see if I can get my camera to start working on me. So again, FTH, DeWills and Civics for FNR Gold. A very, very tough race out there in Azerbaijan. Multiple front wings broken. And a very good recovery drive from Jonathan Cott to come back through the field from what for him would have been a very, very disappointing race. So Jonathan Cott finishing 6th. Nismo 7th. Come back through. Gavlar 8th. Puppy 9th. Mono 10th. So he fell down the order, so he does in fact get a P3. So it's Nismo, Gavlar and Poppy for FNR Bronze. So a second podium in 2 weeks for Mono. It's the wrong step from last week, but I'm sure he'll be very happy with it nonetheless. Jack Blum does finish 4th for Shane Bay's pit stop right at the end in FNR Bronze. Has definitely cost him a podium today, with Super Steve and Tristan both bringing up the points. So, Azerbaijan was quite exciting after all, looking for the first part of qualifying. So until next week, again congratulations to the FNR Gold and Bronze winners. We'll see you next week. So from myself, Scrappy Doo, and everyone at FNR Racing, thanks very much for joining us, and good night.